Live and direct. It's Sway in the morning.
Right here on Shade 45.
You know, in recent years, in hip-hop, rap music, there's been a paradigm change.
Okay.
This wave of music and artists is more autonomous than it's been in the past, than ever before. The DIY movement has been extremely strong.
Absolutely.
Individualism has been extremely strong, and there's been a wave of artists who refuse to be stereotyped, stigmatized, pigeonholed, and marginalized, if you will. And one of those artists that kind of help inspire now what you're seeing is here with us today.
Ooh.
It's the one, the only Kid Ink, ladies.
Yeah.
Yow.
Big bro, what's up, man?
How you been, man?
Chilling, man. Trying to, just keep it, what I'm saying, humble and hungry out here.
Humble and hungry.
And hungry.
See, that's a new thing, too, because humble and hungry, we all say hungry, but people ain't been humble in a long time.
In a minute, right?
Yeah, so hopefully that's a paradigm switch. Last time I talked to you, you were on Rap Fix.
Yes.
And we were talking about your album, My Own Lane. And now it's finally here, and I get it.
Man, appreciate that,
man. You always, in my opinion, have been in your own lane. That's intentional.
And see, my thing is, too, it's not like I definitely really appreciate that, man. That's the best words that I ever hear, especially, the first person that told me that was Pharrell, man. After a session, he was just like, I get it. And it was like, appreciate that, man. It's like I couldn't ask for nothing else, man. But it's like the My Own Lane thing, I'm not really trying as much to force any type of specific sound on anybody or say this is Kid Ink's sound, you should rock with it, or couldn't try to steal this or whatever, more so than it's me feeling like people don't understand my sound because I try to dip through so many lanes different times and make them my own, period, just with my content and what I'm speaking about, and just making sure I'm Kid Ink and not really just saying, all right, this beat's not my lane, more so than it's just like, it's the content right.
What have you learned, because this album definitely, I feel your hands all over it, and it's different from Up and Away. What have you learned? What's changed since you released Up and Away?
Yeah, I think it's growth, man, just in, as a musician, just wanting to be better. I'm never content. I always want to do more and do better than, I did last year. And, even if it's, and then if it's certain type of songs, I always want to do the same type of record, but just do it better and do it more, or see how we could take it to the next level, but still, be Kid Ink and not go too left lane with it. And, with the My Own Lane project, I feel like we definitely going to get a lot of this across, man. And I'm really just, I'm excited and rolling with the punches for this one, man. I just wanted to do the music and get it out. I had so many records that I had to choose from to get these 13, and I'm 100%, and I'm just really rolling with it.
Is it frustrating because there are a lot of artists that sound alike,
right?
That move alike, look alike, and even think alike,
right?
And especially with this newer wave of artists, do you notice that?
Yeah. Definitely, man. I mean, of course, I get the comparisons to everybody who has tattoos. So, I get, it's the light-skin tattoos. I'm stuck in that box, sometimes.
Light-skin tattoos. That's a hot album name.
That's a hot album name.
Nah, but I definitely noticed, it's, like you were saying earlier, man, it's definitely a different moment where people are breaking out of, stereotypes and shells and wanting to just be themselves and not caring as much. I just feel like it's still two different people, though. It's the ones who, don't really care, still want to be independent.
Yeah.
And, it's the ones that, like me, I really, it's not really just about the dough and being independent more so. I'm trying to get Grammys and nominations and perform at award shows and do all these, do everything. Because, like I said, for me, my competition, when I see my peers out and the people that I want to be in their position, I feel like I got to do more than they're doing in order to feel like I'm in that position. And, the major label deal was definitely that first step, I feel like, in doing more and becoming, up there with those people that I felt like I could, do just as good as.
Who are those people?
I mean, you know, it's the ones like, of course, you know, shout out Kendrick who's doing his thing crazy. It's like just the ones who did it last year when I was just watching people like Kendrick and ASAP ASAP, Rocky and Ferg and the whole, you know, mob movement and just so many different people, Macklemore, just people that actually I was on the cover of the freshman, you know what I'm saying, XXL freshman cover with, you know, Future, to watch, you know, people that I was at the same point at one point, you know what I'm saying, rise. It's like, you know, what are they doing or what's going on? And I think definitely the major label thing was that first step.
A lot of people give Macklemore, I was just with him last week, backlash and say he's not hip-hop. And, you know, he got 7 Grammy nods and, you know, MTV VMAs and, you know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like that's something that I always had to struggle with when you just have big records. I feel like when you have a big record, you got a big hook or you got a big beat, people overlook everything else. They're like, all right, he got that hook and he got that beat. Anybody could have did this song or anybody could have went in. So they kind of like they're not as focused to go and look at, you know what I'm saying? I mean, to go and research your verse or go back and really think about that punchline and go back and say, all right, this connected to this and that, because when they're listening to somebody like Eminem, that's really what they're listening for. They're like, I know, I'm not even concerned about the hook. I'm just listening to see what he's going to say. To where somebody like me or Macklemore, if we have a big record that sounds just huge on the radio first, they're like, all right, he's not really it's going to be poppy or gimmicky. He's not going to really say nothing. But it's just because they're not listening. Just, you know, I think it's a thing we just got to break through, man.
You know, there's a track on your album called No Option.
Yup.
And it's featuring an ill-ass rapper, King Los from B-More area. It's one of the songs that, you know, I gravitated towards on your album. Yeah. And it's one of those songs you got to listen. I think this album is good for you, that people got to listen. My Own Lane, Kid Ink is here. You want to talk to him? 888-742-3345. No Option, King Los featured on that track with Kid Ink. That's produced by DJ Mustard.
That one
I mean, Show Me
boy
was
Diesel. Yeah,
Diesel did that.
He out from Canada, man.
From Canada.
Yeah, I've been rocking with him for a minute, man. We finally got a record together, and it was for the album, man.
Mustard produced the Show Me joint with Chris Brown.
Yeah, Mustard produced Show Me, Main Chick, and Rollin' on the album, man. At first it was just Show Me, and I didn't even think I was really going to get too many other Mustard records on the album, and they just naturally came just from me and Mustard just being around each other and just being, you know what I'm saying, mad social. And I've known Mustard since before he was, you know, the hot producer, before he was on the beat, ho. So it's like, you know, for me it was nothing to really reach out and get in the studio, and we booked the same studio for like 2 weeks and just vibed out. But now it's to the point where, you know, our girls hang out, you know what I'm saying, his son be over my crib, you know what I'm saying, with the dogs and just having fun, man. I think it's, you know, it's deeper than just music over there.
You're not married though, right?
Nah.
He's not married, is he?
No.
Man, that might be dangerous having your girls hang out, man. I don't know about that one, man. You know, they get together and stuff. You know, people don't think that rappers hang out, like artists hang out, like and watch TV and eat barbecue and stuff.
Man, everybody, I could say everybody on my album, probably except like Pusha, because it was our first time working. Maybe August Alsina and El Varner, because that was our first time working, and it was really just me reaching out as fans. Everybody else that's featured on the album are like bros. Like I see these people, you know, when they come out to the city, they hit me up. You know what I'm saying? We've been working since I was independent, so it wasn't any real major label favors to pull anything, more so than just reaching out.
What made you reach out to King Los for that No Option?
I reached out to Los, man. I've been rocking with Los for years, and Los was kind of one of the first people to, you know what I'm saying, in the studio and being a real hip-hop spitter, like tell me, yo, sometimes, you know, people just don't understand you or don't, you know what I'm saying, pay attention to the stuff you saying, and it kind of, you know, motivated me, somebody who just goes off top and freestyles, you know what I'm saying, for 8 minutes and goes just nuts, you know, and it motivated me, man, and I think he's underrated, man, by a lot of people. I feel like, you know, people know who he is and he's dope, but he never gets those good looks, man, and I felt like it was a perfect look for him. Like, it was a record where it didn't need no hook or anything like that. It was just all about going in, because I felt like that's what people needed to pay attention to for that one and get from him more so, and for me at the same time, because, you know, people aren't really used to that, because they, like I said, they hear those big records and they're like, yeah, he's not going to spit on this and all that. So it was just like, yeah, I'm going to just go in. Else.
Man, that's good, man. It's always, you know, when all else fails, it's nothing like a great verse. Right, Heather B?
That's right.
You know, you can have, you know, all the, you know, the fanfare. You can have all the public scrutiny, and you can have all the fame, But it's nothing like a great verse. Because without a great verse, we don't believe you.
Nope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
August Alsina, you went to New Orleans to get him?
Nah, I was actually on the road. I was on tour, and I had this record that was just really a demo at first. Shout out to bro Kevin Hart. He was singing, and he wrote this amazing hook. And I just had this record produced by the Runners, and it was, going through potential people who could re-sing it just because I knew it was a dope, big record, but it still, wasn't all the way there. And we sent it over to August, man. He got a lot of hype right now. And aside from that, I've just been a fan since before the singles and when he was just doing freestyles of, singing over other people's stuff. I appreciate the movement and see how that, is just strong over there. And people really, like you said, that do-it-yourself mentality, man. And I could see that over, on his side of things. And reached out and he tweeted and to let everybody know he was doing a record soon as, sent the record back soon as, and it was nothing.
You're listening to Sway in the morning
on Shade 45.